Ooh, let's pull back a little bit. Come on. Come on, camera. Keep up with me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? Heretic U here, and what you're looking at here is a Goblin Team. This was produced by Hungry Troll Miniatures. Let me get everybody in frame. I think it's easier to show off the models. I think I have a really old camera, so focusing and refocusing is an issue on these guys, but whatever. Anyways, if the theme's not 100% apparent to you, I'm just going to go ahead and explain it. So pretty much they've taken, you know, kind of recognizable legends of rock and decided to make goblin versions of them. So let's go over the team real quick. First of all, the troll. This is the Warpstone Troll, and he is pretty awesome. He's still paint in progress. I had a Blood Bowl game today, so I just had to get him pretty much tabletop ready. There's still little details that need to be picked out and stuff on him before he's considered done, but that'll give you a good idea of the troll. Now, Hungry Troll, they have another troll that's the Warpstone version, but I ended up getting duplicates. That was my fault, not theirs. So I ended up with twins. But the rest of the team is kind of modeled after creating a rock band. So we have Angus from AC/DC right there. Let's go with Gene Simmons of Kiss. We've got the drummer of Slipknot. I'm not really a fan of Slipknot, so his name is Jordison, I want to say. We have Lenny. Oh, wow, that's really dark. You can't really see him. He's all in black anyways. From Motorhead. And then we have Slash from Guns N' Roses. There is an Ozzy model. I did not get him. Again, I made a mistake ordering, but yeah, that's my fault, not the company's. They also have these cool sideline models, like this. This guy's one of my favorites. He's the beer guy. Okay. And then the hot dog vendor. I don't know if you guys are darker than normal, but whatever. Oh, it's actually focusing. Look at that. This is the head coach model right here. I think he's modeled after Iceberg, famous pimp. And then this is actually a die holder. You can actually put a dice up there. A die, I'm sorry. So that's the team. They are friggin' fantastic models. This is the I always wanted to play a Goblin Team, right? And I was searching for a really unique Goblin army or team to play, and I saw these guys and I was like, I have to get these out. I am really happy with the way they have come out so far, and yeah, I can't say I can't really think of any negatives about them. I mean, they're a pretty good size. This is a 32 base, 32 mil base. I put them on the secret weapon bases. So that'll give you a sense of the size of them. So they're a decent size, even for goblins. They're a bit pricey, but totally worth it. A lot of people are saying like, oh well, these look great, but you can't use them as, you know, a Blood Bowl team. I say you're wrong. So basically I came up with a background where this was the band that was supposed to play at some big Blood Bowl match, right? Some finals, some cup of whatever, and the Goblin team was so devastated they were just down to these 2 trolls, right? And so the band and everybody else had to jump in and fill in for the team. That would include, you know, the roadie, which is also an awesome model, and the hot dog vendor, the beer guy, the head coach, even the ref, which I forgot to highlight for some reason. But there he is. He's got the bribe on him. Okay, so yeah, these models are pretty cool. Let me just pull out now, and we're going to talk about. I meant the camera, dirty-minded people. Figure we'll go over the Goblin team as it relates to Blood Bowl, because there are online resources for helping new players out, but I thought I would do a breakdown of the teams that I play. And this year I'm going to be playing this team. Now, I played Goblins before, just on like the cyanide version, a little bit on Fumble, so I had some experience with them. And they're just a fun team to play. So I thought we would do kind of a breakdown of the team and my thoughts on what makes them so awesome. Okay, so if you think about playing Goblins, the first thing you want to think of is there's a movie called White Men Can't Jump with Woody Harrelson, right? And in the movie, he basically has this one statement where he accuses Wesley Snipes of wanting to look good and lose. Like, Wesley Snipes would rather look good and lose than look bad and win. And that's how I kind of view Goblins. Okay, so you got to ask that question: how bad do you want to win at Blood Bowl? Because Goblins, if we were to take all the teams, right, and put them in 3 tiers, right? You got your top tier, your middle, your bottom. Most coaches would put Goblins at the bottom tier. So they're a difficult team to play. Their play style's unusual in that they're all about sneakiness and underhandedness, and so they're themed for that in mind. It doesn't exactly make them an easy team to play, okay? And we'll go over the reasons why as we break down the roster, all right? So this team, obviously, it's going to be hard to tell who's who, but basically everyone is, you know, the Goblins are Goblins, but there are some secret weapons in this team. So, for example, this guy just is my pogoer. He has a big long stick, and he's a pogo guy, right? The hot dog vendor throws explosive hot dogs, so he's the Bombardier. And then we have our beer and chain fanatic, so the ball and chain fanatic. And then we have this guy's actually has a chainsaw on him, so he's legit. But breaking down the team, the positives. What's positives about Goblins? Goblins have access to a lot of wanky secret weapons, like the ones that I've laid out here, and we're going to go over each one. Okay, they're also pretty cheap. Your basic Goblin. Let's just say he's your basic Goblin. Sure, I don't know, this guy. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we're going to focus on this guy. So he's your average Goblin. He costs 40,000 gold. He comes with dodge, stunty, which is great. Has its plus and minuses actually, but overall it's pretty good. The right stuff. He's movement 6, armor 7, and strength 2. So right off the bat, like if you're not used to playing a low strength team, playing Goblins is going to be tough. The fact that most of your players are strength 2 means that you're going to have to finesse a lot. You're going to be mainly, when it comes to blocking, you're going to have to pick and choose your battles, right? You can't just mesh heads with the guy, because one-on-one you're basically weaker against most teams. But dodge is good. Dodge makes them a little bit more durable when they are hit. You know, unless you're playing a team that has a lot of tackle like dwarves, dodge is going to infuriate most of your opponents because it just makes them really hard to hit. Dodge and stunty, what that means is that whenever he dodges, in fact, I have let me bust out my other team here. For examples, I have a couple of models for enemies. Let's say, okay, you're in multiple tackle zones, right, with this goblin. If I were to dodge here, it's a 3+. Dodge here, it's a 3+. That's one of the benefits of stunty, is that no matter how many tackle zones you dodge into or dodge out of and into, you're always going to nail it on a 3+. All right, so that's pretty awesome. But stunty has its takeaways too. Its negatives. The biggest one is that when you are hit, if your opponent rolls a 7, normally a 7 just means the player is stunned, so he's going to be face down on the pitch. But for stunty players, a 7 equals a knockout, so he's going to be off the pitch. So that's pretty bad. And if the opposing player rolls a 9 on the injury roll, usually that's a knockout. But for goblins, it's badly hurt. So they get injured quite a lot. So you want to go with a deep bench. This team right here with 3 rerolls and a single fan factor would be a 950 team. Okay, just to give you an example. And it's 14 players on this team, so you got a lot to go on. But just so you know, that's why a lot of people, you know, right off the bat, you're pretty scared of your, you know, goblins being involved in blocks because they get hurt pretty easily. Okay, so that's your basic goblin. Let's go over the special weapons. Now, special weapons are great, but you got to remember as a coach, your special weapons will get kicked off the pitch. They'll be ejected from the game for cheating, basically. If your opponent scores on the drive, you know, at the end of a drive or at the end of halftime, they are booted out of the game. Okay, so what I do is I normally try to keep a treasury on me. So when I play right off the bat, I'm not, for example, this league that I'm in, the starting team value is $1 million gold. Okay, right now I'm at 950, which means at least I have 1 inducement coming in, and I'm going to use that to buy a bribe, because bribes help keep your guys on the field. Basically bribe the ref so that he goes away. And one of the big advantages of goblins is you get that bribe at half off. Normally that inducement is 100,000 gold. It's 50 for goblins because they just love to cheat. Okay, the other thing about your basic goblin, going back to them real quick, is that they're perfect for fouling, right? Because, you know, if you get ejected, you're gonna either have a bribe on you, or, you know, if the guy gets ejected, it's like a 40k goblin. Who cares, right? So moving on to the other cool thing about goblins is the secret weapons, right? You get access to all this cool stuff. So going over one of my favorites is the Pogoer. Okay, so he's movement 7. He comes with he comes up jeez, with he has leap, he has very long legs. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head if he has jump up. I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, where's my thing, my cheat sheet, so I could pretend like I know what I'm talking about. However, he's pricey. I mean, 70k for this guy is it's steep for a goblin. All right, and remember, he counts as a secret weapon. He comes with that rule, which means that he will get kicked out. Like I said, so you really have to be mindful of your opponent. You know, if he's the type of team that likes to score right away, like a Skaven or a Wood Elf team, gotta be careful about your secret weapons, you know? So let's check here. I'm just checking on dodge, leap, stunty, and very long legs. Okay, dodge, leap, stunty, and very. He doesn't have jump up. Someone told me he had jump up. I knew he didn't have jump up. What the hell? That'd be way too good. Be way too good. All right. So, anyways, that is your Pogoer. We're gonna do our beer and chain, or ball and chain fanatic guy next. Okay. Also 70k, but he's a strength 7 goblin. Okay. He is amazing. Now he has a whole paragraph for his rules. So basically, he moves in random directions. He has a move of 3. Oh, I should, yeah. And you have to be in the same. If he enters into an occupied square of a player, he throws a block. He throws a block at strength 7. So this guy is one of my favorites on the team. Strength 7, just amazingly good. He has no hands, however, so you can't ever give him the ball. Okay, so he's a little bit hard to skill up, but with the new MVP rules, you might be able to get him a couple of skills there. Moving on to the chainsaw, or loony as they're called. He comes with a chainsaw, which means that when you throw a block or a blitz with this guy, you don't throw block dice. You basically roll 2d6 and you add +3 to the armor, and that makes him perfect for taking down big, heavy guys that we normally can't block. So he's another one that I keep, and plus he's a steal for 40k. You know, he is an absolute steal. All right. My least favorite is the Bombardier. Just because, like, I just played him today and he killed himself. Right? He basically, this guy comes with his own action, which is to throw the bomb. But oh, I forgot to mention with stunty, you're -1 2 passes. But so that means because he's stunty when he's throwing the bomb, which obeys the normal pass rules, that means that he's -1 to throwing the bomb. And also the bomb can be intercepted. But basically the way the bomb works, right, is you throw it, let's say, at this Skaven here, okay? So you got a team of Skaven all kind of hanging out together, okay? So I declare my bomb throw. You can't be moving when you throw this, so it's not as good as a pass. But let's say I throw it here. He's 3 squares away, so, you know, that would be a, he's like right on the range, so he's the medium 0 range, not a quick, but a normal pass. His agility being 3 -1 means that I would need a 5 or 6 to make that an accurate pass. If this guy, let's say it lands, it's on target, this guy then has to try to catch it. If he drops it, if he misses the catch, then the bomb explodes in a 1 square radius, and well, this guy's knocked down automatically, and you roll on armor. Each guy affected in that radius would be hit on a 4+. So that's, you know, really bad. I mean, that's good for us, especially if a guy like tries to cage. Then, you know, you just throw the bomb, just like boom, die. But it can be intercepted and thrown back at you. And in the case where this guy died today, what happened was I tried to throw it and I fumbled the ball and killed himself. So that's pretty awesome. So the main thing about goblins is so moving on to the trolls. So these guys are your heavy hitters. You can have up to 2 of them. Strength 5. They've got a couple of strange rules. They've got they come with Mighty Blow, which is good. Regeneration also. Throw Teammate. Always Hungry, Loner, and Really Stupid. So Loner is the big negative, but every big guy basically comes with Loner. That means that he can't use team rerolls without first rolling a 4 or better. So 50-50 shot that this guy can actually use a team reroll. So when he fails something, it's a big decision what you want to do. Usually I just let him fail in whatever he's going to do, because that 50-50 roll is just too crazy for me. Alright. Always Hungry is a rule when you use in conjunction with Throw Teammate. So a lot of one of the big goblin plays is the 1-turn touchdown, and basically how that works is you get a guy, let's say he has the ball, and you move, he's next to the troll. The troll, first of all, you have to do the Really Stupid check. So that rule means that on a 4, 5, or 6, he acts as normal. On a 1, 2, or 3, he forgets he's playing Blood Bowl at all. Now you get a +2 if there's a adjacent model to him to kind of like nudge him along. So first you got to pass that roll, right? And then there's the Always Hungry. So he's going to try to throw his teammate, but he might try to eat him first. So you have to roll that. And if you roll 2 or better, it's fine. On 1, this guy gets eaten. You roll right on the injury chart, so that's just bad. But then if all of that works out, then you toss the goblin like you would the football. And let's say he lands on his feet, you land on the other side, you run it in for a touchdown, and you score. So it's pretty awesome that way. That's kind of their main, like, a lot of people, like, I've actually pulled that maneuver off maybe 4 or 5 times when playing goblins. It's really difficult because there's a lot of rolls involved and everything. It's not the it's not the optimum way to play, but it is awesome. And when you're playing goblins, the goal is to just have as much fun as possible, because I mean you got all this wacky, crazy stuff that can most likely kill you more than, for example, like the chainsaw. I know it's a really shitty tactica video, but whatever, I'm just rambling. But let's see, like, you got the guy with the chainsaw, right? Like I said, it's an armor roll, but before you make the armor roll, the chainsaw has a 1 in 6 chance of kicking back and hitting you instead. So you have to roll. So 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, he's fine. He rolls a 1, and he's just chainsawed himself. So that's amazing. So not only can you blow yourself up, you can you can get cut in half by a chainsaw. There's a lot of crazy stuff. You could be eaten by your own teammates, and that's what kind of makes goblins fun, because there's a lot of randomness, wackiness stuff. To me, this is the team that kind of envisions what they had in mind when they first designed Blood Bowl. This kind of wacky, crazy game where anything can happen. And as a result, you end up with a team that is fun to play, but really hard to win. Like I said, on the days where Nuffle decides to bless your dice, things are going great. They'll seem unstoppable. But there are those other days where most of your guys are in the injured or dead pile, because that is also just as probable. Anyways, I'm going to be playing them this season, so we're going to have a lot of fun playing goblins. And yeah, this is a really long video. I don't care. Enjoy me playing them. Maybe just watch me lose and get frustrated with them. That way you could pick another team. And if you like, let me just throw this in. If you do like to hear about all my thoughts on each Blood Bowl team, I could easily do that for you guys, kind of break them down and everything. The Goblins, I mean, I'm not going to go against what most coaches think. If I were to summarize them, they're a fun team. They can win. It's not like this team can't win, but you definitely have to take a lot of chances with them. I've seen them completely devastate people, and then I've seen them it looks like a train wreck with the amount of dead goblins. But you've got to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that randomness if you're going to play this team. So that's my thoughts on goblins. Let me know if you want me to break down, like I could do the Skaven next because I play them a lot. You know, I've played humans, I've played halflings, I've played a lot of different teams. I mean, I played Blood Bowl for a long time. So anyways, have fun. Toodles. I'll see you next time.